Hey everyone! You are listening to the podcast Trust the Process, a safe space where you will hear from us women balancing their fitness and health while life goes on. Balanced diet, muscle gain, fat loss, new motherhood, getting back in shape, menopause onset, and so much more. And you are tuned into our latest episode and also the last episode for the year, a year of trusting the process. It's our 2025 wrap up on discipline, wellness, and womanhood. And this is your host, Yasha, based in Singapore. Professionally, I am a cloud and AI technologist, a virtual artist, a wife, a mother of a teenager, a dog mom, and most importantly, a fitness enthusiast, often indulging into running, weightlifting, high rock, Spartan, all the interesting stuff.
And this is Shanthi. I'm based in Malaysia and I'm a cybersecurity specialist, a wife, a mom to two boys and one dog, a Veena player, an avid reader, a globetrotter, and of course, a fitness enthusiast. Welcome back to Trust the Process, where we are bringing a very special end of the year episode. Well, it's not yet the first year completed for the podcast. If you remember, TTP was born on Women's Day on the 8th of March this year. But, well, how can we close 2025 without bringing some goodness from this very, very special year for both Yasha and I? What do you say, Yasha?
Indeed, Shanti. You just said TTP. Yeah, that's our lingo. We call Trust the Process as our baby, TTP. So, Shanti, it's such a festive time of the year, and December is always a month to reflect on the entire year. How can we close without reflecting on a few aspects related to women, fitness, and us both? We have so much to share from our wonderful journey of launching the podcast this year, the lessons learned, the hiccups, and the joys from the process of trusting the process.
Yeah.
Also, we are not going to bore you like all the end of year things you must be tackling right now, the yearly stats, how many listeners, how many countries we were tuned to, our wonderful numbers, etc., etc. For that, you can subscribe to our Instagram page. And yes, we are definitely singing our success stories out there. But today's episode is one we have been waiting to share. The story of the year I finally trusted myself. In both of our own words.
The story of the year, I finally trusted myself. That is a very powerful statement. But the question is, did you, Yasha, or did I? Well, that would be really something to discuss and let our listeners figure out. And of course, this is an unusual spin from our usual themes of physical fitness. And today's discussion will tie fitness, mental stability, juggling as women, and then redefining the meaning of achievements. So, yeah, let's start with how this year has surprised us.
I would say this year has not only surprised us, but a lot of observers, friends, family, and the whole world. Well, we would like to think that way. We will keep sprinkling that surprise part throughout the discussion today. However, Shanti, I want to start with why trusting yourself is harder than trusting the plan. Well, the name of our podcast is Trusting the Process. Yes, we need to. But there is always a noun attached to a verb when it comes to an action. And that noun is us, or you, or me, or anyone out there who has to act on trusting the process. So this year has surprised me with something of that sort. I realized how we forget about trusting ourselves, how we have so much self doubt, and how sometimes we keep sitting at the edge, procrastinating or disbelieving in something that we are capable of achieving. I think this year taught me to trust myself along with trusting the process.
Oh, that's such a wonderful thing you said, Yasha. And I feel the same exactly personally, right? Because I feel I've grown so much in this year, not only by launching this podcast, working on it, meeting different guests, and getting inspired from them and from you, my fellow partner in crime, but also, as you said, trusting myself more, taking more risks and entering those territories I never thought I would be, and trying new things. The amount of new technology I put my fingers in were really amazing. I have learned so much. It was truly a learning year. And of course, it was all positive. Like, well, I was thinking, what could go wrong? Why didn't I do these things earlier? But yeah, I think there is a time for everything, and maybe I'm wiser now, and maybe now is the time. So, what you said, Yasha, is completely ringing with me. So you go and dive a little deeper on this statement because I'm very interested to know what did you mean by trusting yourself was harder than trusting the process?
Okay, let me start. And here I'm going to throw another one liner. Oh gosh, I'm getting creative in my thoughts. I would say, Shanti, 2025 wasn't the year I expected, but it became the year I needed. You know what I mean? And I did not know that. So it's a surprise outcome when I observe the year in hindsight. So, like I'm a goal chaser kind of person. Every year I try to do something new, hit some new goal and for this year, I had already achieved that from my first solo High Rocks in June. It took me good 3 to 4 months to prep for that in first half of the year, but then something changed. I thought, what will I do for rest of the year other than life, other than work and everything else? And I thought I'm not getting any younger, and also other aspects. Most especially, most driving reason was to walk the talk for our own podcast listeners. So actually, one good thing leads to another, and I thought of challenging myself with something out of my zone, something unimaginably hard, to get to a fitness photo shoot, which I knew will take my heart, soul, blood, sweat, whatever, time, everything. And I'm proud to say that I have successfully achieved it few days back after a grind of 6 months. So when I said trusting yourself is harder than trusting the process, that's what I meant. I mean, I work with a wonderful coach at a wonderful gym, and I have a full support system. And by now, I have good knowledge of how things work in fitness world, or even in professional area. I mean, I have 20 plus years of experience now, but you know what? I think you can relate to it, Shanti. We still doubt ourselves. We still think, will we be able to crack it? Do we have it in us? And when you're aiming to do something that they say only 1% of humans can do, and all those kind of things, you doubt yourself even more. So I think, Shanti, I have surpassed all those fears this year, and I can't tell you how I feel. No, I can tell you. I feel like I can do anything I want with now no boundaries, and I found a new respect for my own self. That's what I guess was missing in life, and I happily was ignorant about it. But now that I know, I feel I got more blessed this year. So that is what I mean by trusting the process is now easy to say. Trusting myself took a lot of courage.
You said you found a new respect for your own self. I have a newfound, even bigger respect for you, really, because I have seen your journey. Uh, and I think I also remember saying this, Yasha, this is too tough. And if it is, if this is something that is killing you, I don't think it is worth it. Maybe you want to rethink. And I know I'm not alone when who suggested this, because we were all looking out for you. We were all thinking that, hey, Yasha, don't kill yourself in the process, right? But you persevered, and how, like, it is amazing to see your journey. And yeah, this is truly off the charts. And 2025 has been a tremendous year for both of us, but for you especially. It's funny when you said, I was done with High Rocks. What do I do for the rest of the year? Can you just relax like normal people?
I know. I
No,
will.
but no, but also you also said one thing which rings very true, right? We don't know what is missing until we have seen that it exists. And I'm very glad to hear about your newfound nirvana, if I must say. And I hope a lot of people out there listening can get a little thrill from it. But yes, we will definitely hear more from your fitness photoshoot journey, on how you nailed it, what did it take, and how difficult was it to win over? Because I'm not letting you go so easily, right? It is definitely a standalone episode in 2026.
Definitely, Shanti. We will do that. We'll go through my physical and mental journey of achieving my first fitness photo shoot. how my routine wavered, how I still kept up with my demanding job and my role of a mother, wife, daughter, friend, etc., and a podcaster. How I handled my self doubt and what led to the shift of to self trust. But over to you. I want to know your epiphanies, Shanti. You mentioned about uncovering new territories and trying new things this year. What was the turning point this where you decided to do something new or continued to trust yourself, Shanti?
Um, Even before I talk about my epiphany, right? I think what I learned so much is tangibly, as I mentioned already, there were so many new technologies that we had to use for this podcast in itself, right? Like right from the editing to making the posters to ourselves to understanding how social media really works. I don't know if we have figured it out yet, but our streams and downloads have are speaking for itself. And I know it's a very, very long journey, but doing everything else, as you rightly said, we have so many roles like a wife, mom, daughter, sister, friend, and a podcaster. But we were able to take this and carve time out of mad busy days. Yeah, and I just feel that, that is something I learned in 2025, that it's never too late to start anything, and every day is school day, right? But I also want to talk about something that, this year I realized something felt off, like not dramatically, like, but quietly. For example, I was doing everything right. I was eating well. I was training consistently. How consistently I have been, religiously going to my strength training, yoga, Pilates. I was also showing up for everyone, including myself. Yet I felt tired in a way that rest couldn't fix. I was overwhelmed without a clear reason, if you could say that. Like, it was something was weighing me down. And my weight, it kept yo-yoing. I mean, I was at my lowest weight at the start of the year. And I was very happy because I was actually walking the talk when I started the podcast, and I could really show that, hey, I've gone from a really plus size person to someone who's moderately fit. And I was continuing that journey. And again, my weight kept fluctuating, and I also got to my highest somewhere in between the year. And I kept asking myself, why? The why, that was my epiphany, right? The shift came when I stopped trying to fix myself and started listening instead to my body, to my emotions, to the parts of me that I've been pushing through for years. And I learned that healing in midlife isn't about doing more, it's about softening, like resting without guilt. I think whenever I rested, I would still have that kind of a guilt like, hey, am I doing enough? I know our to do list is overflowing, but we always wonder whether we're doing it right or not. But I also believe that, we should allow change in our bodies, in our lives, without calling it a failure, right? That was a real breakthrough for me, that realizing that my body was not working against me, it was communicating with me, which means if I'm feeling bloated, there is a reason why I'm feeling bloated that particular day. Is my caffeine intake more? Is the food combination wrong? I was continuously educating myself to understand and honor my body. I think that was the biggest learning lesson for me. And again, yeah, even I'm being creative here, but strength isn't always discipline. Sometimes it's compassion, sometimes it's slowing down, and of course, it's choosing yourself. So I don't think I've become a new person. Yeah, but I think I've become a more honest one. And that honesty changed everything. So, for all the ladies out there who are listening to us, please remember that if you're doing everything right and you're still feeling lost, please remember you're not broken. You're just being invited to listen. And please listen to your body and your mind and soul. Ah, that was intense.
Wow, so deep, Shanti. I'm like still absorbing what you said. It's yeah, it's so deep. Where were you hiding these thoughts earlier? No, no, no jokes. But yeah, it's soothing and comforting to hear that you could listen to your body communicating with you, which we miss a lot of times, or we shut it down, right? and that you are a more honest person for your own self now. That's a big deal.
It is.
And
It is. Yeah.
yeah, and it is not only about fitness. I know we are running a fitness podcast, so we are just bringing all our fitness related stories, but it's not only about that. So the topic is relevant for all areas. Don't debunk the fact thinking, oh, I'm not at this level of fitness, so it is not relevant. I mean, if I take an example at work, this year was particularly challenging for me at work too, Shanti. I got a wider portfolio that I did not ask for. That is to cover multiple industries, multiple countries, were in addition to my forte domain. And as you can see, we are moving to artificial intelligence for everything. Um, I was supposed to bring innovative AI solutions for every damn challenge that exists. Um,
Wow.
yeah, due to the nature of the organization that I work at, imagine learning those fast paced new AI tech every single day, every week there will be something new, and being able to create new solutions using those. How hard it can be to keep yourself updated and at the same time deliver continuously. This was so challenging, but I think the grit in me that I get from elsewhere. Um, yeah, you read it right, through my fitness regime or through podcast adrenal or through the family support. I kept going and striving and existing. So, the method of trusting yourself with trusting the process is applicable everywhere. And I will add the honesty part from your side. Trusting yourself comes with being honest with yourself. Like you prioritize, you choose, and you trust yourself. This is what I can deliver. This is what I can focus on versus this is what I need to drop.
Absolutely. I mean, oh yeah, work has been an immense learning journey for me as well in 2025. And for people who know me and who those who don't know me, I've always been in corporate communications and engagement. So shifting to cybersecurity in 2024 was a huge curveball. But I learned, I persisted, I certified, and I've skilled myself. And again, I think that was a proof that, it's never too late to start a new path in your career too, right? And that also comes about trusting the process. So I trusted that this is going to work. And as you rightly said, we are in midlife. A lot of people think, hey, is this the right time to shift gears in your career? But it's absolutely the right time if you think so and if you believe in yourself. Yeah.
That is something to be so proud of, Shanti. Pivoting careers in midlife, that's an inspiration in itself. Very nice. Clap, clap, clap.
Thank you.
I think we are shifting towards discussing how we juggle multiple roles and still achieve what we want by trusting ourselves and trusting the process. However, not necessarily preaching, as I'm sure everyone has their own ways of dealing with stuff. But what we want to highlight is that through our stories, if we can inspire you people, that get up, get going, do not procrastinate on your dreams and start working on those. Do not wait for the best time to start. I mean, that's what we are doing right now.
Yeah, 100%, Yasha. I think the idea is to live the meaning of this very podcast we launched. So, Yasha, now that we are a year wiser, not older, as podcasters, but also as we grow with all the experiences that we have especially gained this year and the epiphanies that we both spoke about, if we want to give a gift of wisdom to our listeners, something tactical, is there a crystal ball where anyone can measure where they are on the journey of trusting themselves?
Most definitely, Shanti. And I learned it by earning these validations very recently through my fitness goal. I hope to carry these to every field because these are so relevant. So, here you go. If you guys can relate to these, there are, I mean, we have created a list of 5 real signs that you are trusting yourself. So, number one, you stop seeking external validation. So, Shanti, this one was very hard to get for myself. I am by nature a person for whom others' opinion matters a lot. It was hard to unlearn that, but I can't stress how important it is. I think I'm still working on this one. But yeah, when you stop seeking external validation means you have started trusting yourself.
And you're not alone, Yasha. I mean, as women and especially South Asian girls, we're always taught to be and conditioned to be people pleasers, right? So, unlearning that could be a really long journey for us, but I'm sure we'll get there. Absolutely. Yeah.
Mhm. Number two, you choose discipline over motivation. There will be times when things become super hard. Motivation just sits there in the backyard smirking at you. Those are the times discipline pulls you back. And that's where your grit comes handy and is the most important ingredient for achieving goals if you have any. Do not fool yourself, please. Good things don't come easy. Okay, I'll move on to number three. You honor your body signs. I think Shanti already spoke about this, communicating with your own body.
Yeah, I mean, I think we really need to pause and remember this, right? And I really want to reiterate that our body isn't something to fix or fight all the time. It's constantly communicating with us when we are tired, when we are bloated, as I mentioned already, or when we feel off. Please remember that's not weakness, that's information. And information is power, right? So honoring your body doesn't mean doing less, it means doing what actually supports you in that season.
Okay, number four. This one is my personal favorite. I'm so happy that I have finally nailed it. You say no faster. This is such a big learning for me, Shanti. I used to be a yes person all the time. And now, due to my strict regime, past few months, I had only 24 hours to do 24 things. I had to prioritize and say no to things and people without feeling guilty. And it changed the game. And now my muscle memory goes to prioritizing myself first and then saying yes or no to other things. So, yeah, you say no faster when you have started trusting yourself.
That's an absolute no-brainer. Although we do overlook it, right? We do, and again, it ties back to seeking external validation. We're worried if we say no to people, then what would they think, or what would our standing in the society be, etc., etc. But I think once you prioritize yourself and learn to say no faster, oh, it's an absolute game changer for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And number five, last, you do not rush the timelines anymore. This, I think, we both learned, Shanti, over the past 1 year. I have another fitness example, but I would like to stick to the podcast anecdote. There were so many times we felt we are burning ourselves while making episodes for this podcast, while doing 100 other things in life. Then we learned to pace ourselves. We kind of adjusted deadlines or appointments with guest speakers or writing scripts or recording such that we save ourselves from dying. And that has taught us a new learning of trusting ourselves, that we will indeed do this, but in time and with the right energy. So you do not rush the timelines anymore when you have started trusting yourself.
I feel like a philosopher already. But I think it was also very relevant to speak about all this because 2025 has been a tremendous year for our podcasting. It's our maiden year, but we've learned so much, right? And I'm sure everyone out there can relate to one or two of the hacks that we just discussed. And if not, it's time to try a few of these. So, Yasha, again, one more deep question, right? If I ask you, looking back at the woman you were in January 2025 versus today, would you say you have changed? And if yes, how exactly?
Well, yes, I have spoken about how I found my epiphanies of this year. I'm so glad I experimented both with my body and mind. I challenged myself to newer heights, and my body has responded positively. I have new accolades and awards in my backpack now. So, on serious note, Shanti, I opened the episode with that one liner, and I'll repeat the same, that self trust became my ultimate hack for this year, like being with yourself and trusting yourself more. I think I am in deeper self love and self respect now more than I was at the start of the year in January. I have lesser self doubt. And it is not like it was a perfect year. By aiming hard things, you take yourself to extreme limits, and sometimes there is a chance of breaking down. And yet, every mistake becomes the part of the process. And I can't thank my support system enough, my family, my two coaches for this year, my parents and siblings, and of course, you, Shanti. How many times we agreed to disagree. And the world knows how hard it is for two women to stick to something together for a long time. uh, so, yeah, that in nutshell is me. I'm not a changed person or something, but whatever I have achieved, like this self love and less of self doubt, hell yeah, I think I have become a bit different person now, and almost 7 kgs lesser with 14% body fat. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, but that's physical change, right? So your turn, Shanti. I can't leave you without you answering. How are you a different woman for what you were in January this year?
I'm not going to talk about my body fat percentage because I think I'm still working on my desired target. But
Sure.
one day soon. Well, again, jokes apart, I think even until last year, for me, a workout used to be a chore, like a tick in the box, or more like something I had to do that day. And I wouldn't really say that, oh, I was really, really looking forward to it because I had different people guiding me, like I had virtual coaches. So I was blindly following without knowing the technicality of it. I tried a few diets. My goal was more about weight loss versus fat loss or muscle building. But now, in the last 1 year, I realized that working out is actually a joy. Like strength training gives you so much energy. And the days that you don't go to the gym are when you get cranky. We talked so much about it already. I think that really changed me from January. So, what started off saying that, hey, I don't want to be a fraud or that imposter syndrome which was lurking around. I wanted to walk the talk and I cannot have a health podcast by being a couch potato, right? But now it is a lifestyle for me. So, yeah, it's been an amazing year for me.
So, in summary, you learned a new language of communicating with your body, and that is indeed trusting yourself came easy to you.
Oh yeah, you can say that that is my definition of how I trusted myself. Yeah.
Well, okay, noted with pleasure. So, now we are reaching towards ending this episode. Like we always do a fun segment. This time we will do reflective segment.
Oh, reflective. What are we reflecting here?
I'm thinking to leave our audience with few curious questions that they can ponder upon. However, we would love to hear back from all the listeners if you can share your answers to those questions with us, either on our just leave a comment on our podcast from Spotify or YouTube channel or even at Instagram. So, first question I want to leave you with is: what did you prove to yourself this year? And it's okay if you had a quiet and restful year, but even in that, you might have learned something.
Interesting question. I think we both covered that answer in this entire episode. If you need a clue here, tune into the episode again. But yeah, my turn. Second question, what we want you to think about is what did you survive that you haven't celebrated yet? It's holiday period, and there definitely must be something that you're proud of and is worth celebrating. So just ponder upon this question. What did you survive that you haven't celebrated yet?
Very important. Shanti and I are going to celebrate all that we spoke about with cakes, chocolates, frozen yogurts, and a lot of family time. Okay, the third and the last question we want to leave you with is: what part of yourself are you ready to trust more in 2026?
Oh, that's a little deep question, but absolutely worth giving a thought. In fact, I was just thinking about celebrating with cakes and family time. We are now hooked on to Stranger Things, starting from season one, and everyone's watching, and we ordered churros with chocolate sauce last night as a midnight snack. Oh my God, it was heaven. But yes, I, I hope people can take, these questions and ponder upon and reflect their year with, and it would be really amazing to hear your responses on any of our channels like Spotify or YouTube. Just leave us a comment, or yes, and our Instagram is also growing. So just leave us a comment there as well, right? And we want to close this most wonderful, celebratory, reflectory, if is that a word even? The last episode of 2025. And we cannot end without thanking you who supported us this year, turned us two women into successful podcasters and who helped us grow. So thank you, thank you, thank you so much.
Yes, your support means a lot to us. Without you all, we wouldn't have grown in all the dimensions that we have. You're inspiring us to make new episodes on fascinating topics. Having said that, please subscribe if you haven't to any of our channels. Subscribe to your favorite platform, either YouTube, Spotify, Amazon, and or Apple, and share our podcast with your friends, families, and fellows out there. Comment and let us know which was your favorite episode this year. We'll be waiting for that. Meanwhile, trust the process and trust yourself.
Trust the process, and goodbye. See you next year.